Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Brenda Hillard, and I am coming to you live. Today is December 13th, and exciting news coming from Stampin' Up! I'll show you on the screen here. Look what's happening on Thursday. So you have time to make your wish list, but look. Pow! Free shipping coming December 15th only. This free shipping is on orders of $75 or more. If you have any questions regarding this, you can go to my website at createwithbrenda.com and get all the details there. This is for the last chance items. It's for anything in the retiring catalog, which is, sorry, I'm throwing stuff around in here, the July through December 2022 catalog, plus the annual catalog. So whenever there's free shipping, is what I like to do is I stock up on envelopes, card bases, dimensionals, liquid glue, tear and tape, mini dots, whatever the case may be. But it's a great time to stock up, and like I said, just one day only. So Thursday, December 15th, free shipping. That's huge. But do know that there is no guarantee that you will receive it before Christmas, okay? All right, so off with that. And again, I am Brenda Hillard. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am in North Central Minnesota, but I have customers all across the U.S. So welcome, and let me flip down to my workstation, and I'm going to show you a card today that uses the new product. I shouldn't say all new products, but it uses one of the new products from the mini catalog. Let's flip down. Good. Okay, so remember the free shipping on Thursday, the annual catalog, and the mini catalog, okay? Last chance products. And let me just tell you about the new catalog. So we've got the mini coming up. That starts January 5th. With Celebration. So whoop whoop, it's a party again at Stampin' Up! And as you may or may not know, when it's Celebration, for every $50 increment, you get from either the annual catalog or the mini catalog, you get to pick free items from the Celebration brochure. Now, due to Stampin' Up! Policy, I cannot open these yet, but I want you to know that if you do not have a current demonstrator and you would like a catalog, I will put a link down below that you can request a catalog, and I would be happy to send one out to you. You'll get both the mini catalog and the Celebration catalog, okay? If you are a customer of mine and you've placed an order with me in the last 12 months, you are already on my mailing list, and those catalogs should be arriving in your mailbox within the next couple of days. So that's exciting too. All right, so you see this little mess I have in front of me? Well, I participate in a swap every month with a group of demonstrators from southern Minnesota. Well, I should say central and southern Minnesota, and I guess there's even a couple that are not in state. They're in Wisconsin and wherever. But we had to do a technique card this month, and I want to show you the card that I submitted for the technique. So, what this is it's stenciled, it's dry embossed, and it looks like this. And I just wanted to show you, these are the new, they are called the Loveliest Layers Decorative Masks. And these are out of the brand new upcoming catalog, the January to April mini. So let's get started. I'll show you what I did here. I taped These are layering stencils. They're like a one-up. I'm sure some of you have gone out and saw the layering stencils that are out there by other companies, and they're quite sophisticated. This is really quite basic, but what I did is I just layered my stencils one on top of the other, and then made a little template here on my worksheet. So what I have, or the pieces that I have for this card, is I have two pieces of 3 3/4 by 5 inch. I have a So Saffron card base, and then I have a mat of Calypso Coral. So I'm going to be trimming this down after we do our stenciling and our dry embossing. So I will I can give you the measurements for this, but I believe I cut this down to 3.5 by 4.5. And so then this one is 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, so that I have just a 1/4 inch mat around. Okay. And then of course I need just a scrap of basic white to stamp my sentiment and die cut that. I'm using the 2022-2024 in color Baker Twine pack, and this is the Parakeet Party. And oh, did you see this? Okay guys, standard blending brush, new mini blending brushes. How cool is that, right? And there's another surprise. There's storage for your blending brushes, but I'm not going to show you that right now because we need to get started on our project. All right. So I took my 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of cardstock, laid it down. I'm going to flip my first mat down. I'm going to bring in my So Saffron ink. I'm going to load up my blending brush, and I'm going to start on the outside edges of my flower and grabbing the dots here on the mats. I want the outside edges darker than the center, and I think you can see that I've accomplished that there. I'm just going to set that aside. I'm going to bring in the Sweet Sorbet, and look at this cute little small blending brush. I'm going to load it up with the Sweet Sorbet ink, and now I'm going to start off my paper and then go in to the center, so the center is the darkest. Oh, I did it wrong. Okay, it's still going to work. I can go dark. You see how I forgot to flip down my stencil? It's still going to work because it'll just give my So Saffron flower a little different color. Okay, so now if we lift both of these up, voila, how beautiful is that? And actually I was like, oh, I did it wrong. I didn't do it wrong. Those are happy accidents, because look how pretty that is. It looks richer and fuller by doing that. So yay for me. All right, I'm going to bring in the Parakeet Party, and I'm going to flip up my first stencil now from the bottom, line my card up in there so that everything is layered. I can hold in the middle of this one when I'm blending because I'm just doing these leaves, and I want to give them some good color, just like that. And now for the contrast, I'm going to flip my stencil up again, and you see how I have these taped so I can just flip. And like I said, I probably did about 12 of these, and by making my little template here, it worked out really well. So here's the Granny Apple Green. I'm going to load up my little mini cute little blending brushes that are available in the new upcoming catalog. And I'm just going to add some color. Okay. Now, about the blending brushes. You can just rinse them with clear water, and they will have a little bit of a stain on them, but they work perfectly. You can go from color to color. You just have to let them dry. Let's reveal our stencil here. And look. How pretty is that, right? Okay, so now is what I want to do is just move this off to the side. I'm going to grab just a piece of copy paper to put over so that I don't end up getting the ink on my card. There is another stencil that comes in that kit. It's a background stencil that looks like this. I haven't used it yet, but you can see I've got it all taped up and ready to go so that I can give that a whirl here in just a little bit. Okay, so let's bring in our embossing folder, and our embossing folder is new in the catalog as well. It is called the Cane Weave Embossing Folder. It's really, really pretty. So I'm just going to add that to my folder. Need to take that piece off. So I just want platform 1, my 3D embossing folder, and then the gray plate number 4. That's going to be my sandwich for the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Okay. Move this out of the way. All right. So let's see what we've got here. Ooh, pretty, pretty, pretty. Do you love it? Yeah? Well, be sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment. My YouTube channel is growing, but by you doing that, it helps me grow my audience, which is the goal, right? All right, so my mini trimmer, this is from Celebration a few years ago, is what I'm going to do is I want to cut this down. Not that much. Just, I'm cutting to the edge, and my final measurement is 3.5, okay? So 3.5, and then I'm just going to slice a little bit off the bottom. You can see I blended a little bit onto the edge. So I'm going to cut, and my final measurement for this is, oh, I have to get my other trimmer, sorry, is 4.5. So I'm just going to put this in at the 4.5 inch mark. And cut. And I did cut a little of the leaf off, but that's okay. It's not going to matter because we're going to put our little Calypso coral mat on there. All right. So for the inside of my card, I'm going to use another piece of 3 3/4 by 5 inch basic white. I have mounted the stamp from Sentimental Park. I want it to say, I'm using the thanks for, and then it says all the wonderful things you do. And then I'm going to be using this flower from the set too. This is a photopolymer set, 23 stamps in this set. So some great sentiments. I'm going to bring in my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I'm just going to ink up my sentiment here. Stamp it. And then, because that does look a little bit plain, I told you I'm taking this flower and using the So Saffron ink again. I'm just going to stamp right over. I should zoom in just a little bit. I feel like maybe you can't see quite what I have going on there. And then last but not least, I am going to take an envelope, because you know the rules here at Create with Brenda. We have no naked envelopes. I do not like naked envelopes. So I'm just going to ink this up again, and I'm going to stamp it right there on the flap. And then we need to take our scrap piece of basic white, and with our thanks, we're just going to ink that up in the black Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I'm going to lightly tap just to ink up my stamp, moving it around on my stamp pad, and then just a very soft touch and give it a little time to transfer to the cardstock. And we get this beautiful thanks. I love the script on this. I think it's super fun. And then I'm going to bring in my mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss, and I have some exciting news to tell you about this. If you have been wanting a mini, there is a new one coming during celebration. When you join my team at Create with Brenda, there you will receive a mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss, and it is a new in color. It is Boho Blue. How exciting, right? They're saying that there might be a little delay on it, but good things come to those who wait, right? Right, I'm just going to wheel it through my mini here. And look at, when you close this up, it's as big as my hand. It's like the perfect size. Now, the thing about it, just so we're clear, is that not all of the dies and not all of the embossing folders fit in the mini. But when you look at sets, whether it be embossing folders or dies, there will be a little symbol that tells you that that die set is designed to fit in the mini. If you're wondering where this cute little scalloped label die came from, it is from the oh, I forgot what it's called. Here it is. It is called the Mini Pocket Envelopes dies. And you guys, even if you aren't into these adorable little mini pockets, look at all of the fun pieces in there. There's this little tag, there's a branch, there's the oval, the square, and then the scalloped rectangle. So check that out. It's a fun, that's in the annual catalog if you're wondering. Okay, it's time to bring in all of our pieces and assemble. So our card base again was a standard card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm matching up my edges. I'm giving it a good crease with my bone folder. I'm going to add some, well, I thought it, oh, here it is, Stamp and Seal. I'm still in the midst of Christmas and new products, so my craft room looks like a bomb went off in here, but that's what happens in the creative process, right? All right, so there's the insert for our card. And remember when I said I cut this down? Well, what's going to happen is, because this is embossed with that brand new, the Cane Weave embossing folder, I am going to use liquid glue to make sure that this textured piece sticks on my Calypso Coral mat. Alright, so it fits on there just like that. How pretty, isn't it? I love that big flower. It reminds me of Hawaii. Alright, glue it down. Make sure it's all good and stuck. Then I'm going to bring in the Parakeet Party in color twine, and I just want it to go from this edge. I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to tie a bow. And by leaving that tail, did you see that? By leaving the end of the tail over here, it gives me enough room to tie my bow. Okay, I'm going to bring those down just a little bit. I'll give them a trim with my ribbon scissor. Okay, and then I'm just going to even this up just by sliding it. And I want to change this up a little bit. I'm going to swing this to the other side, so if I bend in the edges like that, and then I want to slide it all the way down to the bottom of my card. And the reason I'm doing that is I did it upside down. Okay, so you see how this is nice and full up here, but there's this blank spot? Well, that's where I want my thanks to go. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I have just a quick few snips on here so that I can put those on my tag. And as what I did is I put them one at the top and one at the bottom because I want my baker's twine to fit through there. So I'm just going to glue that down like that. And then I'll take a couple more of these, 5 to be exact, and I'm going to put those onto the back of my Calypso Coral mat. Take off my backings and center that on the front of my card. So there we have it. This stencil, you guys, is gorgeous. I mean, there's a multitude of different colors, and then I'm not quite finished. I have to grab another pack of my brushed brass butterflies. I have used so many of these, and these are from the annual catalog. And the best part about them, besides being gorgeous, is they're flat, so they mail very nicely. So I'm going to take one of the bigger butterflies, and I'm going to add it right here on the corner of my tag, and then I'll take a smaller one and have that one flying off that way, and another one right up here. Okay, So there's our card. And those butterflies are just enough to give it a little bit of a sparkle. You guys, I hope you'll give this technique a try with the Loveliest Layers decorative masks. They're very, very fun to work with. Very fun. So give them a try. I'd love to see what you create. And again, be sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment. I watch for those all the time. So until next time, bye for now.